the Optus data hack, and that's been the headlining story for the past week about how significant a data breach that actually was for customers, and kind of points to some soul searching, I would think, in terms of how on top of security, like data security, any sort of company or organization has to have in place to ensure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. And I'm sure with the way the media is running the story, that most of the population's freaked out about it. And then you got to wonder if will Optus survive, given this type of a breach, because there's bad news days, but for them that was a really bad news day.
Well, yeah, but let's face it, they might spend a lot of money on protecting their network, but this was the admin system that was hacked. And, despite Optus's claims, it probably wasn't a very sophisticated attack. Once you get in, you basically take all those details, and those details were quite obviously not properly protected. As a Optus customer from 20 years ago, I wonder, is my data in there and Optus doesn't even know about it? I don't think we can really tell the extent of this attack, but we do know the implications, and they're not that people might have their banks or bank accounts hacked or anything like that. It's more that with the information that's been taken, identity theft will be very easy, and that can throw not only a personal life but also a whole economy into a very serious situation.
Mm. And I guess the other question too is obviously they need certain data when you're applying for a service or whatever, but there was a question over why did they have so much of certain types of data as well, which I thought was interesting too.
I thought that was interesting because that's standard. I mean, mobile phones are the most heavily regulated since 9/11. They're the most heavily regulated device that you can have. I mean, if you make any call on a phone, certainly in Australia, they can trace you. The SIM card, the phone, the location, they know who it is, or they know how that phone came into being. So, and that's because they have all this data. And I think that, this is now maybe a sign of the times where there's 20 years on, it now is actually an issue because once that data is accessed, you can throw an entire economy into turmoil.